In over a decade of my research into this subject, this is the most hectic and corrupt thing I have ever come across. Harvard scientists caught taking bribes to publish false research about causes of heart attacks. This is how the sugar industry shifted blame to fat. The sugar industry paid scientists in the 1960s to play down the link between sugar and heart disease and promote saturated fat as the culprit instead. The internal sugar industry documents were recently discovered by a researcher at the University of California in San Francisco and published in JAMA Internal Medicine. Suggests that 5 decades of research into the role of nutrition and heart disease, including many of today's dietary recommendations, may have been largely shaped by the sugar industry. Documents show that a trade group called the Sugar Research Foundation, known today as the Sugar Association, paid 3 scientists the equivalent of around $50,000 in today's dollars to publish a 1967 review of research on sugar, fat, and heart disease. The studies used in the review were hand-picked by the Sugar Group, and the article, which was published in the prestigious New England Journal of Medicine, minimized the link between sugar and heart health and cast aspersions on the role of saturated fat. The scientists and sugar executives who collaborated are no longer alive, but one of the scientists who was paid by the sugar industry went on to become the head of nutrition at the United States Department of Agriculture, and helped draft the forerunner to the federal government's dietary guidelines. Another was Dr. Frederick J. Stair, the chairman of Harvard's nutrition department. Can you believe they took $50,000 to literally cast a death sentence on the Western world? Heart disease was not a problem when people were eating nose to tail and plenty of saturated fat. Introduce sugar, highly processed foods, seed oils, and margarine, and it is the #1 killer. A quote said, "When manufacturers reduced fat, they added sugar, and we've lost a significant amount of time in evaluating how sugar affects coronary heart disease, but it is impossible to measure the actual impact on public health over the last 5 decades. So when dickheads like this jump on my page and say, link to the peer-reviewed papers or piss off, this is why that is problematic, because the science is funded by the very people that want to sell you their shit.